especially of Narada Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. Please repeat. O Supreme Form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narada Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. Unless delivered or blessed by a devotee, one cannot realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid parisiriye. According to this verse of Bhagavad Gita 7.3, there are so many siddhas or yogis who cannot understand Krishna. Instead, they misunderstand him. But if one takes shelter of a devotee descending from the parampara system of Narad, Swayambhur Narada Shambhu, one can then understand who is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this age, many pseudo-incarnations are advertised simply for having exhibited some magical performances. But except for persons who are servants of Narada and other servants of Krishna, no one can understand who is God and who is not. This is confirmed by Narottam Das Thakur. Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payeche Seva. No one is delivered from the material conception of life unless favored by a Vaishnava. No one is delivered from the material conception of life unless favored by a Vaishnava. Others can never understand, neither by speculation nor by any other bodily or mental gymnastics. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana-Tinirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshura Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuga Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sham Shri Rupam Sarvajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pradijana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Shri Vishakam Vitamsya Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Once again, Anujanihi Naumams Tavan Nuchara Kinkara Darshanam Now Bhagavate. We share Sid Anugrahat. O Supreme Form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narada Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. Very profound statement given here by Nalakuvra Manigriva. considering that they've just been liberated from two Arjuna trees that have been standing for hundreds or thousands of years, having demigod consciousness but being locked inside of the body of a tree, having been placed there by the mercy of Narada Muni, and now once liberated they're offering their respectful obeisances to Narada Muni. So I guess in one sense you could say maybe they learned their lesson. They've understood now, oh yes, maybe we should have been a little more respectful to Narada Muni. And at the same time, maybe that lesson has been learned by realizing that actually Narada Muni's curse was an amazing benediction. To have the opportunity to reside in the garden of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and to see Krishna's pastimes, and then to be liberated by Krishna directly in his Leela is certainly not something that we would generally consider or call a curse. So actually, Nalakuva and Manigriva, they're saying here that, we've had the opportunity to see you face to face simply because of Narada Muni, because of his grace, because of his mercy, because of the mercy of a Vaishnava as exalted as Narada Muni. But then we actually have the opportunity to be here and see you face to face. And therefore, we're understanding that actually we're servants of your servants. And with this mood and mentality, please allow us to return to our position in the heavenly planets. So this mood of humility that's being exhibited here is very powerful, very profound. And Srila Prabhupada is specifically pointing out this idea of the servant being important consciousness and mentality, as he quotes Narottam Das Thakur, Chadiya Vaishnav Seva Nishtara Payechi Keva, that no one is delivered from the material conception of life unless he is favored by a Vaishnava. And Prabhupada states, neither by speculation or any bodily or mental gymnastics. So it's not by presenting some magic trick or becoming some amazing yogi that one can gain access to Krishna or understanding who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What Krishna explains in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is saying to Arjuna that Arjuna, you're qualified to receive this knowledge because you're my devotee, and also you're my Saka, you're my friend. So Prabhupada explains in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita that so many other versions of the Gita have been written, but how many had ever made devotees? How many had ever touched the hearts of someone enough to make them devotees? Why? Because their translations were often very dry, full of speculation, or coming from a perspective that's just simply translating the Sanskrit verses without really understanding who Krishna is, or even without any devotion or acceptance that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.